I want you to try something with me today. It's a little experiment.
Oh, I love an experiment.
Yeah. So right now, wherever you are, maybe you're driving or you're at the gym, or maybe you're just sitting on your couch. I want you to focus on the most solid thing near you.
For a lot of people, that's probably going to be the chair they're sitting in.
Right, exactly. The chair or the table. Just reach out and touch it.
Yeah.
Knock on it.
It makes a sound.
Great. It makes it that feels hard. It feels completely undeniable. It stops your hand. It's basically the definition of reality.
Yeah, it's what we call solid ground.
Exactly. Now, I want you to imagine that you have this superpower. You can adjust your vision like a microscope, just zooming in deeper and deeper.
Okay, so getting past the surface.
Right. You look at that armrest. First, you see the fabric or the wood grain. Then you zoom past that. You see the fibers. Then the cells. Then the molecules holding those cells together.
And this is usually where it gets really interesting for physicists.
Oh, we are just getting started. You keep zooming, you peel away the molecules, and you hit the atoms. You peel away the atoms, and you're looking at the nucleus, right? The electrons spinning around.
Right, the classic model.
But you don't stop there. You keep peeling the onion. You go past the protons, past the neutrons. What happens when you reach the absolute bottom?
When there are no more layers left to peel.
Exactly. What is down there?
That is the question, isn't it? We tend to think we'll find a hard, tiny marble of stuff, the ultimate building block of the universe.
But today's deep dive is going to absolutely shatter that little marble. We are looking at a really fascinating text today called The Mysteries of Space.
Yes.
It's chapter 10 of Ecclesiastes by Dao Yi.
Yeah.
And fair warning to you listening, this is not your high school physics textbook.
No, it definitely isn't. It's
Yeah.
more like this collision between high-level metaphysics and theoretical physics.
Yeah, collision is a good word for it.
Dao Yi isn't just asking what matter is made of. He's actively challenging the very definitions of here and there and what is real.
The core argument we're unpacking today is pretty radical. The author claims that space, that big black void out there between the stars, isn't just empty nothingness.
Right.
And the solid matter here on Earth isn't actually solid.
The premise is that space and matter are effectively the exact same thing. They're just in different states. And our consciousness is actually a crucial part of that architecture.
Okay, so let's go back to our imaginary microscope for a second. We're staring at this chair, zooming in, but the text actually starts with a much bigger picture to set the scene right. It starts with the galaxy.
It's a really great way to reframe our perspective. Dai points out that if you look at the Milky Way from Earth with just your eyes, what do you actually see?
A cloud.
Right, a misty river of light. It looks like a single cohesive object.
Like a smudge on the sky.
Exactly, a smudge. But we know that's an illusion of distance. That cloud is actually billions of individual stars separated by massive distances.
Right.
So to understand it, you have to zoom in. You have to look at the solar system.
But the text argues that even the solar system is too big to understand the true nature of reality. To really get it, you have to look at a stone. Just a single boring stone.
Because the stone represents everything we trust about the physical world. It's static, it's heavy, it's just there.
So let's apply that onion analogy from the text. We dissect the stone, we find the crystalline structure, then the molecules, then the atoms. We're at the level of the nucleus and electrons now.
And this is where the text starts to get pretty chaotic. It doesn't just say, and then there were smaller particles. It describes a zoo.
A subatomic Z. I love that description because it really is a total mess down there.
It really is. The text lists them out. Quarks, hadrons, mesons, baryons, leptons.
Hang on, I actually have the full list here because I wanted to read it just to emphasize the chaos of it all.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, it's hadrons, mesons, baryons, leptons, bosons, photons, neutrinos, fermions, gluons, and quantum particles.
It's a lot to take in.
It's overwhelming. And the author captures that feeling perfectly. He writes, "We have lost track of who constitutes whom."
Which is a sentiment I think anyone who has ever tried to study quantum mechanics can relate to.
Oh, absolutely.
It feels like a hall of mirrors. You try to find the base particle, and it just splits into three others.
But here is the kicker. This is the moment the floor drops out. You peel back the quarks, you peel back the gluons, you get to the absolute center of the material world. And what is there?
According to Dao Yi, the original form of matter is distinctively empty. The term used in the source is Kong.
Empty. So wait, if I zoom in far enough on my solid oak table, the core ingredient is nothing.
Precisely nothing, and not just a little bit of nothing either. The text uses this stunning visualization to help us grasp the scale of this void.
Millimeter thing, right?
Yes, it says 1 trillion protons lined up in a straight line are only 1 millimeter long.
That is impossibly small.
It is. And the space between them. Relative to their size, it's vast. So when you ask what constitutes the cell, you say molecules. What constitutes the molecules? Atoms. What constitutes the atoms?
Eventually, the answer is just the void.
Exactly, the void.
This leads to that phrase in the text that sounds like a Zen riddle, but is presented here as actual physics. Empty is a form. Form is empty.
It's a famous concept often associated with the Heart Sutra in Buddhism. But Dao Yi is applying it directly to the physical structure of the universe.
Right.
If the core of matter is emptiness, then the distinction we make between space and matter is actually false.
Because we usually think space is the box,
Mhm.
and matter is the stuff inside the box.
Exactly. But the text argues no. Space is just the matter category. The chair is space. It's just space that happens to be vibrating in a very specific way that makes it feel hard to your hand.
Wow, okay, so space isn't just where things aren't. Space is what things are.
That is the breakthrough of the text. And once you accept that, you have to ask a new question. If space is matter, how big is space?
And this is where the text brings up the number pi. I'll be honest, at first I was reading this and thinking, why are we doing math right now? But the connection is actually really cool.
It is. Think about a circle. To calculate it perfectly, you need pi. But the digits of pi go on forever. 3.14159 and so on.
Right.
It never resolves. It never ends.
It's infinite.
Dao Yi argues that space is similar. It doesn't have edges. You can't hit a wall at the end of the universe.
Because space is defined by the constitution and distribution of matter, right?
Yes, and because that distribution is complex and infinite, the calculation of space never ends, just like pi.
But for us regular people, the text gives a much more practical way to think about size. The table analogy. This one I understood immediately.
It's brilliant in its simplicity. Imagine 2 tables.
Okay, I've got them. 2 tables in my living room.
Push them together. What is the space between them?
0. Or, almost 0.
Now take one of those tables and move it to Mars.
Okay, that's a long trip, but now the space between them is millions of miles.
Now move that table billions of light years away. The space is now infinite.
But the tables themselves didn't change at all.
Exactly. The objects are exactly the same. The space is defined solely by where the matter is located relative to other matter.
So space isn't a fixed stage. It's a relationship
A relationship, precisely.
that really helps visualize it.
Mhm.
Space is just the distance between objects. But, and this is a really big, everything we've talked about so far, the protons, the tables, Mars, the text groups, all of that under one label. Yang space.
Right. This is the pivot point of the entire text. Up until now, we've been deconstructing the physical world, the measurable world,
The stuff you can touch.
the world you can see with your eyes or a telescope. Dao Yi calls this Yang space. It's single-natured. It's the physical singularity.
But he argues that if we stop there, we're missing half of reality.
Or more than half, honestly. He introduces the concept of yin space.
Okay, now this is where I need you to really help me out. Because Yang space is protons and rocks. Yin space starts sounding a bit spooky. The text talks about consciousness spirits antimatter.
It does require a leap, but the author offers a proof that every single person listening has experienced.
Which is what?
Dreaming, or memory, or imagination.
Okay, explain that. How is a dream a space?
Think about it. When you close your eyes and remember your childhood home, or you dream that you're flying over a city, you are seeing images.
Right.
You are perceiving distance. You can look left and right.
Sure, but that's just in my head.
But where is in your head? Those images exist somewhere. They aren't in the physical room with you. You can't measure them with a ruler, but you are experiencing them.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Dao Yi argues this proves that space is multifaceted. There is the hard physical yang space and the fluid conscious yin space.
So he's saying my daydream isn't just neurons firing, it's an actual location.
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
The text categorizes 36 dimensions but boils them all down to these 2 main attributes, yin and yang.
Okay.
Yang is the material, atoms, molecules. Yin is the spiritual, consciousness, soul, antimatter.
Why did this distinction matter, though? Is it just philosophy, or is there a practical reason to care about yin space?
Oh, there is a very practical reason. And it solves the biggest problem humanity has, the travel problem.
Yes, I loved this part. The author gets surprisingly practical, almost cynical about space travel.
He really breaks down why Yang space travel is a total dead end. First, the speed limit.
The speed of light.
You cannot go faster than it in the physical world. That means even the nearest star is a lifetime away.
Then there's the fact that, frankly, most planets are awful.
Right. In our solar system, only Earth is really suitable for humans. But my favorite point he makes is the ticket problem.
This felt very real to read. He says even if we invent the warp drive or whatever,
Yeah.
who actually gets to go?
Not you, not me. He writes the money in ordinary people's pockets couldn't buy a ticket. It's a luxury for the ultra-rich.
And even if you win the lottery and they send you to Mars and you land there, then what? You still age, you still get sick, you still die. The source literally calls this boring.
No fun. That's the quote. Because you're just moving your mortality to a different location.
So Yang space is a trap. It's too big, we're too slow, and we die too fast. Enter Yin space.
Yin space operates on completely different laws. In Yin space, there is no speed of light. Travel is superluminal. Or even instant.
Like teleportation.
Better than teleportation. Resonance.
Resonance.
The text says, consciousness determines existence. If you can tune your frequency to a place what the text calls millennium worlds or 10,000-year worlds, you are there, instantly.
Okay, I can hear the skeptics right now. People are thinking that's just imagination, that's just pretending to be somewhere else.
Sure.
But the author uses an analogy here that really stopped me in my tracks. Because it's something we use every single day. The internet.
This is the virtual reality analogy, and it is the bridge that makes this whole theory click for the modern mind.
Think about it. If you went back to 1950 and told someone I spend 8 hours a day in a space that has no physical location where I talk to people I can't see and I move money that doesn't exist, they would lock you up.
They would say it's a complete fantasy. But for us, computer network space is completely real.
We respect it, we feel real emotions in it, we build businesses in it.
Exactly. Dao Yi asks a great question. If you believe in a website you visited, a place that is just data on a server, why do you doubt a spiritual realm like the Xi'an Archipelago just because you haven't logged in yet?
That hits hard. We already accept a dual reality. We have our physical lives, our Yang space, and our digital lives, our Yin space.
It's a perfect parallel. The text says the virtual is real and the real is virtual.
It goes right back to the chair, doesn't it? If the chair is 99.9% empty space, then our physical reality is basically a simulation anyway. It's just a very dense, convincing hologram.
And that leads directly to the matrix question the text poses. It challenges you, the listener, to weigh the value of these two spaces.
This is the question that kept me up last night. The text asks, would you rather spend a lifetime in a beautiful dream, a Yin space simulation that is perfect, or decades in an anxious, miserable waking life?
It frames it as a travel choice. Would you rather see all the beauty of Earth virtually, instantly, and perfectly? Or would you rather spend a lifetime sitting in airports dealing with jet lag and spending a fortune to see the exact same things physically?
It seems like the author is heavily implying that we are massively undervaluing the virtual or the spiritual.
He definitely is. He suggests that we are obsessed with the physical Yang world because we think it's the only thing that's real.
Right.
But if you accept that atoms are empty and that consciousness can travel instantly, then the physical world is actually the inferior option. It's the slow lane.
So if we buy into this, if we accept that there are these millennium worlds we can access through consciousness, how do we actually get the ticket? Does the text give us a user manual for this?
It's a bit of a tease, honestly. Dao Yu mentions that to access these spaces, one must understand life's 8 mysteries.
Life's 8 mysteries. That sounds a bit cryptic.
It is cryptic, but the core instruction is about internal calibration. The text says, as big as your heart is, that's how big space is.
That sounds like a greeting card, but in this context, it's literally physics.
It is physics. If space is defined by consciousness, then expanding your consciousness literally expands the universe you can inhabit. The goal is to reach a state where the vast void is home.
The vast void is home.
It means getting comfortable with the nothingness, realizing that you aren't a solid object but a field of energy. It's about letting go of the need for the chair to be solid.
That is terrifying and liberating at the exact same time.
It requires a total shift in identity. You have to stop identifying as the particle and start identifying as the wave.
So let's try to sum up this massive journey we've just taken. We started with a stone, we zoomed in until the stone disappeared entirely into an atomic void.
We realize that solid is just an illusion.
We learned that space is just the distance between things, and it changes based on where you put the furniture, like the tables on Mars.
Then we split reality in half. We have Yang space, the physical trap. Slow, expensive, and you die at the end.
And Yin space, the consciousness superhighway. Instant infinite and potentially eternal.
And finally, we use the internet to prove to ourselves that we are already halfway there. We already deeply value the virtual. Dai is just asking us to go all the way.
It really reframes everything. Even if you aren't planning to ascend to a millennium world today, just walking around knowing that your imagination is a valid space changes how you treat your own mind.
It completely validates your internal life. It tells you that when you dream, you aren't hallucinating. You're traveling.
I want to leave you with that final choice. The red pill or blue pill moment from the text.
It's the ultimate trade-off.
Here's the question. If you were offered a ticket right now, not a plane ticket, but a consciousness ticket, you plug in and you enter a perfect dream, a yin space. You can stay there for 10,000 years, you can fly, you can create worlds, you feel total bliss, but you have to leave your physical body behind. Or you keep your current ticket, you stay right here in yang space, you deal with the traffic, you pay your taxes, you have back pain, you get maybe 40 or 50 more years if you're lucky. Which ticket do you buy?
The scary part is I think a lot of people would seriously struggle to answer that.
I know I am.
Yeah.
Think about that next time you stare at the empty space in your coffee cup. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
See you in the next dimension.